Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Stephen Dow. How you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. And yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Do me a favor, get that marketing thing out of the way real quick.
Thank you, sir. Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, as I'm doing actually right now.
Yeah,
uh, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's get it going again.
one of the things I wanted to talk about, as you know, I was at an event over the weekend, last weekend, and there's a lot of people excited about what's going on in real estate, the opportunities in the future. A lot of them are talking about home equity lines and doing cash out refis and things of that nature. Um, I just wanted to have an honest discussion because sometimes it's not a good idea.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and tell people it's always a good idea. Max leverage, always go for it. Blah blah blah. That ends often very badly for folks. And I know you believe the same thing. Even though you're in the mortgage business, sometimes knows the right answer. Correct?
Agreed. I mean, again, if you're, negative cash flow on something and you're trying to play the, appreciation game, not right now.
Yeah.
That's going to be, I mean, maybe in certain markets where rents are just going to be, have increased substantially, but even in that realm, it still wouldn't be a really smart play in the big picture. So you're still just really gambling at that point. But yeah, I mean, at some point numbers don't lie, and so you just got to
Yeah.
crunch the numbers to make sense. I mean, for right now, for myself, even best credit on residential property, max leverage 75%. I'm in the low eights,
Yeah.
possibly even high sevens, depending upon your FICO score and scenario.
Yeah.
So given that, doesn't I don't know if your ROI with that those terms are going to make sense. So you just have to crunch the numbers.
Yeah, I think people really need to be careful. We it's funny. You and I did a show. Probably it's been a year ago now,
Hmm.
where we were like, okay, now's the time, right? Go get the dry powder. We won't even say
It's
the
about a
rate.
year. No, you're right about that because it was right around September when our rates had our floor went to 399, and I
Yeah,
kept screaming, Mike, I got 399 30-year fix, and so we
yeah,
were
yeah.
on the
Let's
every
get
week
it.
we were
Go,
screaming
go,
that. Yep,
go. Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah,
There were a
yeah.
few for sure. They were like rushing to it was like a Black Friday sale.
Yeah,
Shout out to
exactly.
Will. Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to Will out of Florida.
there you go. Yeah. So again, there is a time where it made sense. We called it. I got to tell people as I sit here today, I have some assets that are free and clear. I am not in a rush to go get 8% money. I'll use a round number, 8%.
Right, right,
Um, but yeah, I'm just not in a rush. I wouldn't do that. 8% is expensive in my world,
right,
especially because a great deal for me is 8%.
right,
I'm not going to borrow at 8 to get 8. That in
right.
my world that doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
When would I borrow at 8? Double if I got 16. Certainly if I got triple 20. Something in the
There are certain markets, and shout out to Don, by the way, Don E. He's finding certain properties. I don't want to give away his secret fishing hole, so to speak,
no,
but the
no.
rents are ridiculous
Yeah.
for what he's. I'm like, so he's like, oh yeah, rents don't matter to me because I'm getting like 20-something% yield or this. I'm like, more power to you, Don. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Let's
So
go.
they're,
Yeah.
they're out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want people to hear me, right? Because again, a lot of people think that I'm this real estate bull and blah blah blah, and I'm just always go go go.
Mike, you do okay.
I
I've done loans for you, Mike. You're
Yeah,
you're
yeah, I'm
you're
doing okay.
you're doing fine.
Yeah, but again, I want people to hear me, right? I'm all about great deals,
Right.
and it's got to make sense, right? For me, cost of capital is one variable. I've told you I don't care if rates are 10, 12, or 15. I've just got to put it in there and make my great yield. I'm not going to be coming to you to borrow cash out at 8%. That's just I
Well,
don't
not
have to
when
do
you
that.
already borrowed at 399 last year, so why would you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I just think sometimes it's important to sit here as a quasi expert and say that
Mhm.
cash out refi is not always the right answer.
No.
But if you're gonna get 24 and if you could borrow at 8 and triple it, by
Right.
all means, why wouldn't you? Right?
Right. Numbers again don't lie. You just got to do the work. So, but if you're doing the work, you're reaping the rewards because I'm seeing it. I'm doing the loans for them. You know what I mean? Even when all your rates are so high, but these guys are making, yeah, they're killing it right now, and they're finding it out again. I wish I had the time to speculate, and put in. I should actually make the time for myself, but they're coming up with some really great deals, man. So their
Yeah.
portfolios when we come out of this thing are gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah. This is, again, this is all about doing the work. I think the market is going to slow down, which is going to help investors. Um, but I just get some people want to rush. They're like, hey, I've got 2, but I need 4. Well, sometimes you got to go slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 to 5 years are hard, right? They're slow
Right.
for everyone. You don't really get to
Right.
recycle capital for 3, 4, 5 years. And just some people want it so bad they make bad financial moves.
Agreed. I mean, again, desperation, or in this case, maybe, rushing to judgment, or maybe not doing your homework too much because maybe you're motivated by emotion more than, analytics. That shouldn't be the case for whatever reason, but the whole FOMO thing sometimes, and people get really caught up in the moment. But you would think common sense. We talked about right before we started recording. Common sense is not common. You just got to do the work and crunch the numbers because numbers don't lie. And so from that point, I don't think it would be as emotional. But you never know.
Yeah, I just wanted to do this video so I get it on record that cash out refis make sense sometimes, right? We've been very clear when I thought it made sense. I'm being very clear today that it may not make sense for lots of people. If you're out there, again, if you're earning 15%, let's just call it double, right? If you're going to borrow at 8, you're earning 16, and it's a solid 16. It's not I beat my Excel spreadsheet.
Right, you want to tweak this and make me look good? Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's a real number, then that could make perfect sense. But don't borrow at 8 to earn 8. I would never do that. I just want to get that recorded, so there's no ambiguity out there. Does that make sense?
No, totally. But again, I think for the most part, your seasoned investors, your students that do the work and know their buy box and the yield, it's just a numbers game. So, but agreed, that's why we have these more meaningful conversations, because until we crunch the numbers, you don't know if it's a good deal or a great deal until you kind of like, okay, now that I know all the hard numbers, now I can make the right, educated decision based upon that. So yeah, again, not always the best idea, but you won't know until you crunch the numbers.
Yeah. So again, folks, I've used Stephen Dow. He's helped me borrow against an office building, apartments, multifamilies.
And I've said no plenty of times. Trust me.
I know.
I've said no. Or, I'm not the best option for you. You should go this way. So, not here to just make a quick buck, because if it doesn't work out, you're not going to be coming back. And then I just burned a bridge, and, we never want to do that.
Yeah, you have to say no, or else you won't come back on my channel, right? Again, you come back because you give value
somehow.
Right, believe me, I would hear about it.
The Facebook group, you said it. So
yeah, no, I would hear about it.
I don't do that.
I appreciate that you say no. So somebody wanted to reach out to you to crunch numbers, see if a cash out refi made sense. How do you want them to reach out?
Again, just my email, sdao@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, the acronym ORAAT. The body of the email, property address would be great. It's not at least the city and state to make sure we lend there. Your mid-FICO score, and then of course, best phone number to reach at, and within 24, 48 hours, I'll be in touch. And then of course, you can also call me or email me on purchases as well, but we just wanted to talk about, specifically the refinances. So I'm still doing actually refinances as well. Just in this case, it made sense to this particular one rental at a time student. So yeah, we're doing 3 refinances on previous properties. So just again, it made sense to him.
You got to be working with a professional that will tell you no.
Right.
If it doesn't make sense. And that's why you're here. So sdow@velocitymortgage.com, 5 letters in the subject line, ORAAT. Everything else put in the body of the email. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.